When people speak about the 8 strange things on 16 November, they often look only at the events outside, but the real shift happens within you. This day carries a unique pressure, a quiet force that pushes you to look deeper into the parts of yourself you usually avoid. The moon shift is not only a cosmic moment, it is a mirror. It reveals the places where you have been hiding your real strength and where you have allowed fear to shape your decisions. On 16 November, these hidden energies rise. They rise without asking permission, and they rise because it is time for you to see who you truly are beneath all the noise. Many people think they understand themselves, yet they repeat the same habits and continue living inside the same limits. But the 8 strange things on 16 November disturb those limits. They break the pattern you have become comfortable with. When the moon pulls the waters of the world, it also pulls the deeper waters inside you. Feelings you pushed down may surface, thoughts you ignored may return. Desires you buried may become loud. This is not chaos, this is clarity. The shift reveals the strengths you forgot you had, the courage you never used, and the inner fire you let sleep for too long. On this day, you may sense a tension in your mind, almost like a whisper insisting that something has to change. That whisper is not strange, it is your truth finally speaking. The 8 strange things on 16 November are not warnings of fear, but signs of awakening. Strange only means unfamiliar, and the unfamiliar is often the doorway to your next level. When you feel the internal pull, do not run from it. Stay with it. Listen to it. This is the energy that has been trying to guide you towards growth long before this day arrived. The moon shift exposes the places where you have been pretending to be smaller than you are. It shows you the habits that drain you, the people who no longer match your direction, and the beliefs that have been quietly shaping your limits. When these things come into the light, it can feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is a sign of movement. Growth never comes from staying the same. The 8 strange things on 16 November break your routine so your real path can finally be seen. There is a powerful awakening that happens when you stop fighting the shift and start observing it. You begin to notice how much strength you've been carrying without realizing it. You see that every challenge in your life was building a deeper part of you. On this day, that deeper part comes forward. The moon shift pushes you to stop living on the surface of your life. It invites you to go deeper into your purpose, your discipline, your responsibility, your vision. The strange things are only strange because they call you toward the version of yourself that you have not met yet. This day shows you that the energy inside you is not weak, not confused, not lost. It is powerful, direct, and ready. But power cannot rise unless you stop resisting the truth of who you are. On 16 November, the veil between your potential and your reality becomes thinner. You feel things more intensely. You reflect more honestly. You see your past choices more clearly. It is not to punish you, it is to free you. Freedom begins when the truth finally becomes louder than your excuses. The 8 strange things on 16 November form a kind of inner storm. But storms do not come to destroy, they come to reveal the strength of what can survive. Your resilience, your patience, your discipline, your focus, these qualities are awakened through pressure. The moon shift is that pressure. It pushes you to rise above fear and step into the person you were meant to become. When the hidden energies rise, you will feel an urge to withdraw from unnecessary noise. You will feel the need to protect your mind, to guard your emotions, to stay close to yourself. Honor that. This day is not for distraction, it is for awareness. What you feel inside on 16 November is a message. Your life is ready to change, but it cannot change if you keep ignoring your inner power. The strange things are signals. They tell you exactly where your transformation begins. Let this day be the moment you stop carrying the old version of yourself. Let the energy reveal the strengths you have always owned but never fully used. The moon shift is not outside you, it is happening through you. And when you accept this, when you allow the strange things to guide your awareness, you step into a new chapter where your inner power becomes your path forward. When people talk about the 8 strange things on 16 November, they often expect unusual signs in the sky or sudden changes in the world around them. But one of the most powerful shifts on this day happens quietly within the mind. Your intuition becomes sharper, clearer, and more direct than you are used to. It feels strange because you are not used to trusting yourself at this level. You are not used to hearing your inner voice without the usual noise that blocks it. On 16 November, that noise becomes weaker, and what remains is the truth that has been trying to reach you for a long time. Intuition is not a mystery. It is the part of you that observes without distraction. It senses before the mind has time to interrupt. During the 8 strange things on 16 November, this inner sense grows stronger because the energy of the day pulls you inward. It removes your attention from the world outside and forces you to look at your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own instincts. You may find yourself knowing what needs to be done without being able to explain why. You may feel a sudden clarity about decisions you have been avoiding. You may sense a direction that feels right, even if it is uncomfortable. This is the shift working through you. On this day, your intuition becomes louder because the old confusion becomes weaker. You start noticing things that were always present but ignored. The people who drain your peace, the habits that steal your time, the thoughts that weaken your confidence, the excuses that slow your growth. These realizations may feel like the strange things of 16 November, but they are not strange at all. They are the truth rising to the surface. And the truth feels unfamiliar only when you have spent too long running from it. You may feel a pull to act differently, to speak honestly, to protect your energy. This is your inner guidance taking the lead. The moon shift on 16 November clears a path between your mind and your deeper awareness. For a moment, you see yourself without filters. This is why many people experience restlessness or increased sensitivity on this day. Your senses are sharpening, your awareness is expanding. You are being pushed to recognize what you already know, but have not dared to accept. The 8 strange things on 16 November are a reminder that your intuition has always been there, waiting for you to trust it. When something inside you says, "This feels right," listen. When something inside you whispers, "This is not for you," respect it. The shift brings a kind of inner silence where your true voice becomes stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, stronger than the opinions that have shaped your decisions for too long. In that silence, you cannot hide from yourself. Growth begins when you stop questioning your inner truth. On this day, your intuition becomes a guide. It tells you where to step back. It tells you where to move forward. It tells you what to release and what to build. Many people ignore this guidance and call the day strange, heavy, or confusing. But the only confusion comes from resisting the truth. The 8 strange things on 16 November are not punishments, they are invitations. They invite you to trust the part of you that already knows the way. The sharpness of intuition on this day may also reveal the areas where you have been betraying yourself. When your inner voice becomes clearer. You can no longer pretend. You can no longer stay in places where your spirit feels small. You can no longer continue habits that keep you stuck. This honesty can feel intense, but it is a form of liberation. It removes the weight of self-deception. It brings you back to your path. You may feel guided to isolate yourself, not because the world is dangerous, but because your internal world needs your attention. The 8 strange things on 16 November create a moment where solitude becomes powerful. It allows you to hear the whispers you usually overlook. It allows you to reflect deeply. It allows you to align with your purpose without the noise of other voices reshaping your decisions. This is where transformation begins. Intuition is the inner teacher, and on 16 November, its lessons become clearer. Every strange sensation, every sudden insight, every quiet realization is a message. The day is not random. It is a shift designed to bring you back to yourself. When you trust your intuition on this day, you step into a new level of clarity. You begin making choices from strength instead of fear. You begin seeing your life with honesty instead of comfort. You begin walking in a direction that honors your future instead of repeating your past. The 8 strange things on 16 November do not come to confuse you. They come to wake you. They come to sharpen your awareness. They come to bring forward the guidance that has been silent for too long. And when you listen, when you trust what rises from within, you begin to move toward the life you were meant to create. During the 8 strange things on 16 November, one of the most powerful experiences you will feel is the sudden collapse of old cycles. These cycles are not just routines, they are patterns built from your past choices, past fears, past doubts, and past versions of yourself. You may not even notice how deeply these cycles control your life until a shift forces them to the surface. On 16 November, this shift arrives without hesitation, without asking if you are ready. It simply brings to light what must be released. The ending of old cycles often feels uncomfortable because you have lived inside them for so long that they almost feel like identity. But they are not you. They are temporary layers shaped by moments of fear, disappointment, or survival. The 8 strange things on 16 November expose these layers and break them open. You may suddenly feel emotionally heavy. You may feel restless or uncertain. This is not a sign of something going wrong. It is the beginning of something new. The moon shift on this day pushes you to let go of what has already expired in your life. Many people resist this process because endings feel like loss. But the truth is, holding on to cycles that no longer serve you is a heavier loss than letting them go. On 16 November, the strange things you experience are signals reminding you that your life cannot move forward while you cling to habits that drain your strength. You cannot walk into the next chapter while carrying old doubts on your back. You cannot rise if you refuse to release the weight that pulls you down. This day brings clarity by force. You may notice relationships that suddenly feel distant, habits that suddenly feel pointless, or goals that suddenly feel empty. These realizations are part of the 8 strange things on 16 November. They are not random changes in mood. They are the truth speaking louder than your comfort. They reveal what you must release before you can grow. This is why the shift feels intense. It is cleaning your inner space, removing what blocks your path, and preparing you for a transformation you have been delaying. The collapse of old cycles often happens in silence. It happens when you sit alone and feel a sense of completion you cannot explain. It happens when your mind refuses to return to old excuses. It happens when you realize that repeating certain behaviors will only lead you back to the same empty place. These experiences may feel strange, but they are the real work. The 8 strange things on 16 November are reminders that growth demands honesty, and honesty demands letting go. On this day, your emotional reactions may surprise you. You might feel a sudden need to walk away from situations you tolerated for too long. You might feel the urge to remove yourself from noise and protect your mind. You might even feel sadness, not because something is wrong, but because something inside you knows it is time to release. This is the cycle breaking open. This is the shift giving you permission to rise beyond your past. The moon shift on 16 November does not bring endings to hurt you. It brings endings to free you. It removes what no longer aligns with your purpose. It clears the path you were meant to walk. When the 8 strange things reveal disclosures, do not fight them. Fighting them only strengthens what needs to be released. Accepting them opens a door that has been waiting for you. There is a deep wisdom in endings. They teach you discipline. They teach you self-respect. They teach you how to walk away without fear. They teach you that your time and energy are not things to be wasted. On this day, the strange things guide you to see that letting go is not a weakness. It is the highest form of self-growth. It is the moment you decide to choose your future over your past. When old cycles collapse, something inside you becomes lighter, your intuition feels sharper, your vision becomes clearer. Your confidence begins to rise. This is what the 8 strange things on 16 November are truly about. The transformation that happens when you stop living in patterns that keep you small. When you allow the ending, you create space for strength, clarity, and renewal. You create space for the person you were always meant to become. Let this day mark the moment you stop holding on to what holds you back. Let the strange things guide you toward the truth that has been waiting inside you. The ending of old cycles is the beginning of your real life. And on 16 November, this beginning becomes impossible to ignore. During the 8 strange things on 16 November, one of the most powerful shifts you will feel is the sudden realignment of your path and purpose. This day does not move softly. It does not whisper. It pushes. It corrects. It exposes the direction you were meant to walk long before you had the courage to take the first step. The energy of this day brings a pressure that forces honesty, and honesty forces transformation. What felt unclear before will suddenly feel obvious. What felt confusing will become simple. What felt distant will come closer. This is not imagination. This is alignment. When the 8 strange things on 16 November begin unfolding, many people report a strange feeling, an inner pull, a tug from within that says, "This is not where you belong," or "This is where you must go." That pull is your path correcting itself. The moon shift does not only affect the world outside, it reaches into the deepest layers of your intention and shakes loose the dust that has settled on your purpose. It wakes parts of you that have been sleeping under routine, responsibility, or fear. Suddenly, you see your life from a higher point of clarity. On this day, you may experience an urge to change direction. Even if it scares you, you may feel the need to leave behind a path that no longer feels alive. You may feel drawn toward something new, something uncertain but meaningful. This feeling is one of the strange things because it arrives with force. It does not wait for permission. It does not negotiate. It simply shows you the truth. You cannot continue walking a path that does not match the person you are becoming. The real shift on 16 November is the moment you stop pretending. The moment you stop convincing yourself that comfort is enough. The moment you stop letting fear make decisions for you. When the 8 strange things begin to unfold, your heart, mind, and intuition align with unusual sharpness. You see clearly what must be done, and clarity is one of the most powerful forces of transformation. This clarity can feel overwhelming. You may sense that something in your life is out of place. You may realize that the direction you thought you wanted was shaped by expectation, not truth. You may understand that certain goals are no longer your goals. The moon shift exposes everything that is misaligned, and alignment cannot happen without disruption. This is why 16 November feels intense, because your purpose rises and demands to be heard. When your path shifts, your energy shifts with it. You begin to feel drawn toward growth. You begin to recognize the habits that slow you down. You begin to notice the people who inspire your progress and the people who weaken it. The 8 strange things on 16 November push you to choose wisely. They show you where your strength belongs. They show you where your attention should not return. This day teaches you that every step you take shapes the person you will eventually become. Many people fear changing direction because they worry about uncertainty. But uncertainty is not the enemy. Stagnation is. The purpose of the strange things on 16 November is to remind you that your life changes the moment you stop walking in circles. The moment you choose a direction that comes from your truth, not your fear. The moment you trust the shift instead of resisting it, this shift may also bring moments of discomfort. You may feel impatient, like something inside you is ready to move faster than your life currently allows. You may feel a sense of urgency that pushes you to take action. These feelings are part of the strange things. They are the signs that your inner compass has awakened. They are reminders that your life cannot evolve while you cling to the past. On 16 November, the moon shift reveals the gap between your present and your potential. It shows you how far you can go if you stop holding yourself back. It shows you what becomes possible when you step into alignment with your real purpose. This alignment is not dramatic, it is direct. It is precise. It is the moment everything inside you says, this is the way. As the old cycles collapse and the new direction appears, you begin to feel lighter. You begin to understand that purpose is not found outside, it is remembered inside. The 8 strange things on 16 November help you remember. They help you reconnect with the part of you that knows why you are here, what you must do, and who you must become. When the shift aligns your path, you will feel it not only in your thoughts, but in your body, your energy, your decisions, your silence. There is a sense of certainty, even if the future is unknown. There is a sense of strength, even if the next step feels big. This is the power of alignment. It removes hesitation, it removes doubt, it removes the distractions that keep you unfocused. The 8 strange things on 16 November come to correct your direction, not to disturb your peace. They push you toward a path that leads to growth, discipline, clarity, and purpose. And when you accept this shift, when you follow the pull instead of resisting it, you enter a new chapter of your life, one where every step matches who you truly are. One of the most misunderstood parts of the 8 strange things on 16 November is the message about not going outside. Many people hear this and imagine danger in the world, but the real meaning is much deeper. It is not about the outside world harming you. It is about the outside world distracting you. On 16 November, the shift of the moon creates a powerful internal alignment. And this alignment requires silence, solitude, and protection from noise. It is a day where your inner world becomes louder than the world around you, and stepping into solitude becomes the doorway to transformation. During the 8 strange things on 16 November, your energy becomes more sensitive. You can feel emotions more clearly. You can sense intentions more sharply. You can hear your inner voice without interruption. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is strength awakening. But this strength is easily diluted if you surround yourself with unnecessary noise, arguments, gossip, or chaos. That is why isolation becomes important. Not to hide, but to rise. Solitude on this day is not emptiness. It is a meeting with yourself. It is the moment you finally hear what has been silent for too long. The 8 Strange Things on 16 November open a channel between your truth and your awareness, but this channel can only stay clear if you protect it. When you remove yourself from the noise, your mind becomes calm enough to understand the messages rising within you. You begin to see what you need to release, what you need to pursue, and what you need to change. This clarity does not come from others, it comes from silence. Many people fear being alone because they fear what they will discover about themselves. But on this day, solitude is not something to fear, it is something to honor. The moon shift removes the filters you usually hide behind. Without distractions, you begin to see your strengths, your weaknesses, your patterns, your power. You begin to understand the choices that brought you here and the choices that can take you forward. This is the purpose of the Strange Things on 16 November, to open your awareness so deeply that you cannot lie to yourself anymore. Isolation allows your intuition to speak with force. It gives your emotions room to rise and settle. It gives your thoughts the space to clear. It gives your vision the focus to sharpen. When you are around others, their energy mixes with yours. Their opinions blur your direction, and their noise blocks your inner guidance. On this day, your soul does not need more voices, it needs your own. That is why withdrawing for a moment becomes necessary, not forever, just during the shift. In solitude, you begin to feel the truth of your life. You begin to notice the relationships that drain you. You begin to understand the habits that weaken you. You begin to see the opportunities you ignored. You begin to reconnect with the version of yourself that wants to grow, not just survive. These realizations may feel like part of the 8 Strange Things on 16 November because they arrive suddenly, clearly, and without warning. But they are not strange, they are overdue. The silence of this day teaches you something powerful. You cannot rise if you never sit with yourself. You cannot change if you refuse to look within. You cannot grow if you always escape into noise. The moon shift forces you inward so that you can confront what you have avoided. And confrontation is not conflict, it is awareness. Awareness is the first step to transformation. When you protect your energy on this day, you begin to rebuild it. You begin to strengthen the parts of you that have been weakened by distraction. You begin to restore your focus. You begin to remember your purpose. You begin to feel the power of your own presence. The 8 Strange Things on 16 November guide you toward this restoration by making solitude feel natural, necessary, and meaningful. Inside this stillness, you may feel emotions rising, sadness, relief, clarity, gratitude, or even heaviness. Allow them. These emotions are not interruptions, they are releases. The shift brings them forward so you can clear the old energy and make space for something new. This is why solitude becomes a tool. It gives you the quiet needed to feel, understand, and let go. Without this quiet, the strange things would pass over you without leaving their lesson. You will notice that in this isolation, ideas become clearer, decisions become easier. The future becomes less intimidating. You begin to trust yourself more because you are finally listening to yourself. This is the heart of the shift. The 8 Strange Things on 16 November are designed to bring you back to your own guidance. When you listen, when you protect your energy, you begin to walk with purpose instead of confusion. Let this day teach you the value of silence. Let the solitude prepare you. Let the strange things guide you back to yourself. on 16 November. Do not fear isolation. Honor it. It is not a withdrawal from life. It is preparation for the life you are meant to create next.